Hi, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to Vertical Presents webinar program. Through Vertical Presents, we deliver webinars that are designed to help you learn more about the many facets of communications. You can see what webinars are coming up by visiting vertical.com and navigating to the webinars link under the Learn tab. Today, we're lucky to have Craig Gironda, Vertical's SVP of Customer Experience, as our presenter for today's webinar, Maximizing Your 8x8 Investment. It is now my pleasure to turn things over to Craig. Craig, take it away.
Thanks, Julie, and hello, everybody. Thanks for joining our webinar today. And I'm very excited to show you all of the content that we have in store for you. And we're going to jump right in. So who's Vertical? Well, most of you know who Vertical is already, so I'm not going to go into any detail. I'm certainly not going to read the slides, but we are a strategic consultative partner, and we love working with our customers to help you grow and evolve your businesses and your customer experiences. Today's agenda, we are going to start with why we're doing the webinar and then maximizing your investment. We'll show you a bunch of stuff that's new and also talk about the difference between exploring and exploiting. And then we can open it for question, discussions, and next steps. So why are we doing a webinar? Well, everything in the XCaaS world with 8x8 is really advancing very quickly. The rate of development is extraordinary. And as you'll see down below, XCaaS is what 8x8 calls their combination of unified communications as a service, contact center as a service, communications platform as a service, and then sprinkle in some advanced analytics, AI-based tools, and integrations. Roll that all together and you get XCaaS. So we're going to dive in and talk about what's going on here about maximizing return on investment. And really we're looking at, is it revenue generation? Is it cost avoidance, saving money, productivity gains? As you're going to see today, a lot of the investment that 8x8 has put into R&D is paying fruits in the customer experience or contact center field and those features and functions. So what do you currently have? 8x8 is very flexible with licenses. You can go from an X0 to an X8, all the way from very basic telephony through advanced customer experience contact center. What are you using? We're here as your partner, as your strategic consultative partner. We're here to help you identify your needs and how you can leverage your investment. And part of that is through understanding the feature functionality of what you already have. What do you want to start doing with what you have, what you know? How are you measuring that? And we can help you with that too. And then what's new? And I say so far because every quarter, 8x8 is introducing a bunch of new functionality. And so how do you really take advantage of that functionality? Well, let us work with you. So the concept I've run across it a while ago, as I think this is very important to talk about, these two words, exploration, which we're going to do a lot of exploration today, and then exploitation, something you can do with us as your partner in the, after our call today, right? So learn about what you have, what's new, and then choose the best options to implement to maximize the customer experiences you want to deliver. So exploration, exploitation. Let's get into some exploration. As you can see from the list, we're going to dive into this list. There's a bunch of new things that are here. So instead of reading this, and we're going to make the slides available to those who've attended today, let's dive right straight in. So first, some unified communication enhancements. And things that in the unified communications realm, these are really great enhancements. They're not major enhancements, as you'll see some of the contact center enhancements, but they sure are for functionality and nuisance control. Like SMS spam blocking, you can block spam calls. You can block voice calls. Now you can block spam calls, and you can do that individually, or the administrator can block them for you. So I think that's a really neat little feature there. And then inside of the work app, you can get calendar reminders, not just in your Outlook calendar or your Google Calendar, but calendar reminders, and that pop up in that black rectangle there is an indicator of a calendar reminder, and it's got a link to join the meeting directly from that, so you do not have to go searching for the link to join. So I think those are really interesting productivity enhancers. And then on the mobile front, on this slide, mobile administration, looking at things like dashboards with ring groups and auto attendants and call queues, or seeing alerts. So you have a lot of flexibility now on your mobile device, whether it's a Android or iPhone or a tablet, to get that type of functionality. Now, also what we've seen are enhancements to the Microsoft 365 Dynamics integration and to the Salesforce integration. So I didn't list those there because these are the types of things, if you're using these functions, we can, for example, on Salesforce, we can do a Salesforce demo for you and show you all of that functionality on our demo system. I think that's much more important if you're using Salesforce to have us show you. And if it's Microsoft 365 Dynamics or any other CRM, reach out to us and we can schedule that also. All right, so let's keep going on UCaaS enhancements. In meetings, so we're in our webinar meeting here, and I'm sharing my screen, but perhaps I would like to put a whiteboard up. So whiteboard in 8x8 meetings is now turned on, and that's pretty good functionality. Again, you have it, if you have your 8x8 system, you have this functionality now, and I find it very useful in meetings, especially to diagram things or to brainstorm. It's just excellent functionality to have. There's some additional inbound functionality for screen pops, and they put some error checking in for screen pops also, and you'll notice it says pop up also for internal calls. So you've got some additional functionality, and when you put the URL in for the pop-up, it will check and let you know if you formatted that properly or not. So just nice little features here that they continue to enhance. The next one on tooltips, this is a great feature because when you hover over, let's say I'm in my call history and I see I have a call from somebody that left a voicemail, I can hover over it and I can see the number, it's a voicemail, the start date, the start time, and the duration, all by just hovering with a tooltip. So that is pretty useful information to have. You don't have to click into the actual voicemail and go digging for that information. Some other work-related functionality here: ability to toggle the app startup sound on and off. That sounds like a little one, probably not very important to most people, but it's just a nice little feature. Country-specific ringback tone while waiting for a call to be answered. Improved accessibility for screen readers. We did a customer implementation recently where the screen readers were very important, and the functionality from their screen reader consultant ratings for what 8x8 did was very, very high, and 8x8's done a very nice job. They continue to enhance the accessibility to things like calls and call controls and all of the elements of the screen. And now here's a really nice one. Call forwarding displaying the full recipient DID when you choose to route calls to another user. So if it's coming in from external and you route that call, you're going to route that full DID. All right, so a bunch of stuff that we see for UCaaS. Let's take a look at what's new for contact center. So there have been improvements to the agent workspace. And the agent workspace is that place where you can go as an agent and handle all of your interactions. So this is our agent workspace screen. I can log in, log out into specific queues. Tremendous functionality for the agent right in this screen. And it helps to really reduce the training time because everything is in one spot. You don't have to toggle back and forth between different apps. It's very intuitive. It's also something you can personalize. So when we go into the agent workspace and actually see it in hand, and it's after we go through a couple of more slides, Kurt's going to show us a screen of the agent workspace and the supervisor workspace, and we're just going to go through a little of that functionality. But first, before we toggle back and forth between my share and his share, I just wanted to go through it with you. So very powerful. They continue to enhance this. There's now a soft phone built into the agent workspace, and that soft phone now can also dial 911, and they've done it in a very interesting way. Is it maintains your identity in the E911 routing. So even though you might be logged in as an agent, it still knows your E911 identity and location. So they've done a very nice job with that. And you can see things like all of the queues and groups and directory. You have these icons at the top that you can toggle back and forth between, and it's presenting a lot of information. Now, to go along with the agent workspace, you can see they've added some additional functionality to add queues to your favorites. So when you click on your favorites, not only do you see people, but you can see queues. And they've really enhanced some of the metrics. So the My Assigned Queues metric update, you can now see if you're enabled for that queue and if you're logged in and run reports on that. This is a very big one. We have a lot of customers that are integrating with Microsoft Teams. And 8x8 is fairly unique in that the XCaaS platform is UCaaS and contact center together, but they're also fairly unique in that they're integrating to MS Teams with both UCaaS and CCaaS. So the ability for an agent to chat with somebody who's using an MS Teams account is a very nice feature. So that functionality has been added in the spring update. And I think that's one of the big requests that we always have had is how can I communicate with people easily while I'm using the 8x8 tools. Well, here's another example of 8x8 extending that chat functionality with Teams users. Now, also in the supervisor workspace, we're going to see that they use a lot of different widgets. So these widgets are these rectangular shapes that contain lots of information, and that information can be selected from a menu that you want to display. So these are all very specific to the individual supervisor. They can set up their own dashboards, their own workspace, if you will. And it really helps to be efficient because you're not being forced to work in somebody else's workflow. You can build your own workflow. Very, very extensible, meaning that not only can you use the widgets from 8x8, but you can also use custom developed widgets. And as we're going to see a little later on in the presentation, 8x8 has created something called the Technology Partner Program. And in that Technology Partner Program, they have partners that have developed integrations to applications that they have with 8x8. And they're also developing widgets to put into your workspace. So not only can you see what's going on in the 8x8 workspace with 8x8 tools, but if you're integrating to a third-party application that's developed widgets, you can import that wizard in and see that in the single pane of glass. So these slides here just show you just a high-level overview. Kurt, are you there?
Yes, I am. I just happen to have been double muted.
Welcome to double muting. So what I'd love to do now, Kurt, is I'm going to click one more time here. Oops, I went past it. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to ask you to dive in and just give us a quick overview of the agent workspace and the supervisor workspace.
Happy to do so. So you should see my screen at this point in time. So what I've got up for you first is the agent workspace. By default here again, you can change your status. Again, based upon where you are. Like for myself here, I've got myself as explaining things in a demo. But you can also, change to one of the break statuses or make yourself available. Yeah, look at that. There was a call that was waiting back in queue. I'll go ahead and I'm going to turn that one down and say that I'm helping another agent so that I and move back to working offline status. But to what Craig was pointing out, you've got access to your directory, and the directory, because this is an XCAS solution, includes not only the contact center individuals, but it also includes all the individuals on the unified communication side. So you have access to the directory of your entire company right here at your fingertips. You can also, if you wish to, select certain individuals or queues or extensions as your favorites for quick, easy access to be able to make phone calls to, see your most recent activity, and proceed on from there. As far as your queues themselves, one of the things that Craig was pointing out to you here is that my assigned queues has been added. So now I can easily drill in on the different types, whether it be inbound or outbound phone calls, chat, email, voicemail, any of the different types of channels that are available to you. And I can quickly see how many people are logged in. I can see whether or not I'm enabled for that group. And also, if I am a supervisor for a particular group, it will pop up along here with the little icon to let me know that I am a supervisor. And with that capability, I have the ability to monitor activity within the queue. So if I want to just take the next interaction that comes in on the inbound queue, I can select that, and whichever interaction comes in, I can start to monitor that as the supervisor. Moving over to that point as a supervisor, that also is browser based. This is all fairly new to the 8x8 environment, works wonderfully. You have access to all of these widgets, which will give you different components such as your agent status, what's going on with your queues, how many have been waiting, what's the longest wait time. And you can, as you wish to, go up here to the filtering and then select what exactly you want to focus on. Do I want to just see anything that have been for calls, or do I want to see all the different media types? So I can pick and choose whichever media types I wish to be able to see and pull data on. So if I only want to get the inbound call activity, I can deselect everything else. And all the interactions and information on the supervisor workspace only focuses in on that one media type, and I get all the relevant data specific to that. And then I can also drill down further if I want to on specific agents or specific queues that are matching that particular type, or any of the groups that are relevant to that. As they add more widgets, they will appear up here in the edit widgets, and more of these widgets are continually added to the 8x8 environment. So as they have them available, you can simply add them and drag and drop them into your supervisor workspace. And then from here also, you have the capability of being able to go down and see the status of the agents. What time have they been in on that status? When have things changed? So as an example, I'm also logged in as another agent here, and you should be able to see that that agent has changed their status now, from being available to now engage in a call because they're getting something from the callback in the queue. I'm going to go ahead and answer that one real quick. Handle that, and you'll see that they've handled that interaction, and it's an interaction in progress. Okay, we'll go ahead and disconnect that. And then their status would change back again once they are available. So right now they're in wrap up time, so you can see the purple color and how that is changed. And then once wrap up has concluded, they will become available. So it's all real time in data that I am pulling here on the supervisor workspace. Very dynamic, clean, easy to look, easy to manage. And if I wanted to as an example, monitor what's going on with Fred here next. I can select him and then, be able to go from here, and the next interaction that comes into Fred, I can monitor him. So I can do monitoring not only from the agent workspace, where it designates those that I can monitor a queue, I can go right down to the agent level myself here too. Craig, is there anything else that you'd like me to show that I may have missed along the way here?
Kurt, that's fantastic. No, you've done a fantastic job. Thank you.
All right, let me stop sharing and turn it back over to you.
Great. I'll start sharing again. A few months ago, Kurt and I did a webinar on the new definition of an agent. Right. Today, many people think an agent is somebody who sits behind a desk, whether it's remote or in an office, and is set to answer interactions, calls, chats, emails, social media with customer. But 8x8's really rethought what the definition of an agent is, and we agree with them. Not everybody that needs the tools that you get in a contact center license is going to be logged in as an agent or even a supervisor, but they still need some of those tools. So that's what this new 8x8 Engage solution is. It's a software license. It's going to be in beta very soon. We think this is going to be a huge game changer because an agent license or supervisor license is more expensive, and you're getting things that you might not necessarily need. So now you have a specific license for customer experience professionals that can monitor queues. They can see reporting and agent activity, right? They can do a lot of different things like communicate with the agents or the supervisors and be brought into a customer interaction with virtually no friction. So all customer-facing employees may find value in this. This is something that we'll be able to demo soon. We're expecting to get it enabled in our demo and live systems very soon. But this ability to see everything end to end that's important for the customer experience for non-contact center agents and supervisors, huge benefit. And it's going to be priced very aggressively in the marketplace compared to what you would pay for full supervisor or agent licenses. So something that we will be seeing more of, and you can see it's going to be embedded within the work application. So you'll get another icon in work, and you'll be able to see the queues that you're assigned to be able to have visibility in. And you'll be able to see at a quick glance what's going on in those queues, hover over and dive into greater detail. And as an Engage member, you can sign in and sign out. So you don't have to be signed in all the time, and just stay within the app that you're used to, which is the work app, whether it's at the work desktop app or work through the web. There's also a version for mobile. So again, same informal agents, one app for all your communications. And even if you're mobile, you'll be able to interact with customers to make sure your company is delivering a great end-to-end customer experience. So that everything extending to mobile is a great philosophy. Another one that's in beta is blended interaction. So this is a new functionality that will allow an agent to be configured to take chats, voice calls, and emails in some blended fashion that you will be able to control. So you can set concurrent interactions, digital. You see it says digital, max number of digital interactions, max number of concurrent emails. And while working on phone interaction, do you want somebody to have access to chat or email? Maybe not. So you have the granular control of what you want to allow agents to be able to receive to interact with customers. You can set the maximum transactions, and this is set for beta launch very soon. So we're very excited about that. If you've got contact center and you want to get involved in betas, just reach out to us and we'll submit you and your company information to 8x8 to see if we can get you approved for the beta. Wow, so now we're going to change gears, still in the customer experience realm, still in the hey, we've got to deliver tremendous value to our customers. We're using now an AI powered tool called Intelligent Customer Agent, and it's through a third-party technology partner called Cognigy. This is a really powerful tool that is an AI powered, for lack of a better term, it's a virtual agent. And do you want that virtual agent to interact with people digitally through text or voice? And it's completely configurable to allow you to provide self-service and self-service automation, but you can also escalate to a live agent. And there are a number of different integrations, but really the best thing for me to do is just to let Kurt jump into the screen that we have on the right. Is a virtual city hall, if you will, that Kurt built out using the tools with 8x8's ICA by Cognigy. And Kurt, I'm going to let you dive in and show us what you've built.
Sounds good. I like the way you talked about it being dive in, because that's actually the web page, and you will be able to get it that from the link when that's sent out here afterward. But it's available at info.vertical.com/dive in if you wish to practice with this yourself. So again, it's built around the idea of government as such. However, this can be done for anything in the retail space, healthcare, you name it. We can build it and get it operational. What's an example of something you could do? Let's say within the education realm. Let's go ahead and get started there. And let's say that you are Will here, and you're a father of two, and you need to check and see what's going on with Sally, if she's got any homework, if there's any alerts going on, and maybe what's going on for lunch on Monday. So in order to see if we can get that information, we've given you some data that you can put in. We're going to go ahead and engage it here. It's letting us know that we can find out the location of schools, test schedules, break schedules, lunch menus, and student information. So in this case, we're going to look for student information. And it's asking for the student ID. We'll use one for Sally there at 158943. And let's see what we can do once we get that information. So it's confirming that it's Sally. And here we can find out if there's any alerts or notifications, homework assignments, any absences, or if you want to book lunch with your child. So let's see. One of the first things that we want to do is find out, does Sally have any homework? So let's go ahead and type in homework and see what we have in this. So the system is going to go back. It's going to check the database, confirm what's going on, and sure enough, Sally's got some assignments in social studies. The world map label is due, and algebra, and then English. Okay. You know what? I could use some more information. So yes, we do need help with another matter here. Let's find out if there are any alerts. That was one of the other things that we could find out about, right? So let's see if there's any alerts about anything we need to be aware of that Sally maybe hasn't told us about so far today. So we'll see if there's anything pending. Yeah, sure enough, we're going to have school's going to be closed at a certain date. Oh, and the yearbook money's due at $25. Do I need anything else? Yes or no. Let's just say no, and then I can go back and let it see if I need anything with education. No. And if not that, then do I have anything with anything else? Then I could actually say yes, and then I can skip over to anything else, and I can keep moving my way around from education to any of those other spheres. The whole idea here is we've given you something as far as the tool is concerned that can interact with the database, be able to pull information, and be able to provide a lot of information at your fingertips without having to talk to somebody, and be able to do this whether or not you're doing it on your mobile phone or on your desktop, and move on with your day. Craig, anything else that I should add to that?
So Kurt, did we have to outsource any of these integrations or development to anyone?
No, we did not. We were dangerous enough here at Vertical to be able to do this ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a really great point, and I think it's very important. And we've done these for not just government, but we've done these for financial institutions and other types of businesses, commercial businesses, where we've done deep integrations into payment systems and deep integrations into CRMs. Thanks, Kurt.
You're
That
welcome.
was absolutely fantastic work that Kurt's done there, and he's our AI guru at Vertical. Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen for a second. So here's another enhancement that I think is a great enhancement: video in the contact center. So basically, what happens is, let's go through the scenario here. When enabled, someone will call you. In this case, a tenant might call you to report a fault. The agent sends a link for a video interaction to the mobile device via SMS. The tenant opens the link and they're connected in a remote fix video session. So think about all the uses for that. We have techs on the road here. We also have customers that want to show us something on the road. So if they call into our support desk, we can send a link. They could use the camera in their smartphone to show us something. Maybe it's on a panel. Maybe it's in their phone room, and we can get a better idea of what's going on. In this case, with the remote fix, they're using tenants as the example, and tenants call in and report, hey, I've got a problem with water in my house, or my AC, or anything. Right there, you're sharing, and then the agent can determine whether they need to dispatch someone or if it can be fixed remotely, but to get the right resource in there. Now, tie this in to the new Engage license, where everybody that you want to be customer facing and making an impact on customer experience can be part of what's going on. Very powerful, very powerful. Also, you can send out a feedback survey via SMS. And we really think this is a great feature to enable on the system. It increases customer satisfaction, very efficient, and it might eliminate the need for another call or a truck roll. Now, we're going to dive into we talked about UCaaS, we talked about CCaaS, we actually looked a little, talked about AI. Now, this is more of the CPaaS, the communications platform as a service. So this is a connect.8x8.com dashboard that gives us the ability to leverage the CPaaS. And instead of writing a lot of code, this is very low code and no code in how it will allow you to, for example, today we're going to talk about outreach. Well, there's really digital messaging using SMS or WhatsApp. Now, using those two modes, you can notify, which is one-to-many outbound messaging, interact, which is one-to-many and two-way messaging, or alert, which are time-sensitive messaging alerts, right? You can use all three of those modes and communicate using SMS or WhatsApp. So if I escape out of here and go into the dashboard, the overview, and I decide I'd like to create templates or do automation, I can do add contacts to here, import contacts, but let's go into a campaign and see what that looks like. So if I wanted to do an SMS campaign, my existing campaigns would be listed here. I'll just click on create a new campaign. Now you'll notice my balance is 0. This is a new demo account for us. and we haven't gotten the balance in here yet, but we can make our way through. So we're going to use SMS for our vertical demo account, and I'm going to click add recipients. Now here, I'm just going to type a mobile number in. And you'll see one number is now showing up. I can continue to type them in manually, upload a file, or go to my contact list, or add groups from our contact groups. So very flexible. Now it's going to tell me, oh, here's what we have. We've got one contact, one is valid. We didn't do an import. There aren't any duplicates. We know a destination country is one, United States. Let's compose a message. And here is where you can determine if you want to use a template. Select template. And if you have a template, there's a template. There's your greeting. Next, I can see the preview of what it looks like, and I hit send. So this is a way to send one message to many people and determine if you want it to be, as we said before, if you want it to be a notify, if you want it to be a one-to-many outbound, a one-to-many and get responses back with the interact, or just send out alerts. And this is priced separately from your existing licensing, but it's very reasonably priced. We've seen this pricing to be extremely competitive, especially against many companies might think about using a company like Twilio to do this. You don't have to do that anymore. It's built into what you can license from 8x8. Very, very nice functionality, very easy to use. As you can see, we can do a deeper dive on the functionality here with you. All you have to do is reach out to your contact at Vertical, and we'll be happy to dive in and show you more. So on this interaction and integrations from the technology partner ecosystem, 8 has gone through a lot of trouble to work with lots of different companies to leverage their technology. So we're looking at best of breed here. There's Cognigy that we talked about before, but you can notice there are things like Microsoft Teams and Calabrio and Salesforce and so on and so forth. PCI PayPal is something with for credit card, for PCI compliance and credit card. We're able to demo that for you also. We've sold some of this, and it's very well done. And if you're processing credit cards, it's a very easy solution to integrate with 8x8. And here's an example of the fact that we have our own integration team and application development team. So we had a customer who is Padre Dam is in Southern California. They have campsites that they manage, and as such, they take reservations. We integrated into their campsite reservation system for their agents to have the interaction between the two. So you have full interaction between 8x8 and full integration with 8x8 and their campsite reservations tool. That's all done internally. We did not have to go out to any third party to get that done. That saves time, cost, it increases customer satisfaction. And I'll throw a little ad in here that our net promoter score for Vertical for the life of our company is 83. That's a huge, huge number. Typically anything over 50 on a scale of -100 to +100 is considered world class. We're at 83. Our service provider partners are ecstatic about the service and our customer satisfaction and net promoter score, because that means that we not only do we have customers, but we keep our customers. Our retention is extremely high, our CSAT's extremely high, but we're here to be your strategic consultative partner. I did want to go over one more slide here, and that is the MS Teams slide. If you're using MS Teams, 8x8 has several options for you, and I'll start from the bottom up. The phone app with the embedded dialer. And that is a very basic but powerful way to go. But most of the companies that we're doing integrations with are using 8x8 direct routing. And you'll notice there are two 8x8 direct routing, one for Teams with 8x8 voice and the other for Teams with 8x8 contact center. So that's a huge differentiator for 8x8 is we have both. But what's new, and this is a very limited use case, so I just bring this up to let you know that 8x8 continues to invest and develop the Teams integrations because we know that that environment changes dynamically all the time, is they have Operator Connect. Now, Operator Connect is more like dial tone, so we don't think that it fits as nearly as many situations as direct routing, but it is there in case you want to talk about it, in case you want to consider using it. By far, we do a lot more direct routing by factors of 10. All right, so that concludes the slides we have today. And we encourage you to reach out to your contacts at Vertical. We would love to have discussions on how you want to evolve, how you're using your 8x8 system, demo anything that's new, or even talk about existing functionality that you may not be leveraging today. We're here as your partner to make that happen. And thanks everybody for joining.